Hello, and welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for Aquarius. I'm Jamie Kill-Miller.
And I'm Julia Mijas. And hey there, Aquarius. I'm going to start off talking to you about your relationships. Now, this full moon we're having on May 23rd, it's a lovely full moon. And since your seventh house of relationship is ruled by the sun, any major lunation is really going to affect you in the relationship department. And this particular one is a really nice, happy, lucky one. So it's going to be happening between your 11th and your fifth house axis. This is the axis of friends and the axis of fun in dating. It's a really great full moon if you're single to go out there and meet somebody new, especially because Venus, the love planet, is in the fifth house as well. So really good month later in the month for meeting new people. And if you're currently in a relationship, it's just going to be a great time by the end of the month to have fun with your partner, get together with friends, and just kind of have some adventures, have some joy together. Now, Juno in the eighth house, Juno being the marriage or long-term relationship asteroid, is now finally direct, thank goodness, because you've been going through a whole relationship review over money. And money in relationships, they just kind of happen, but it happens every time you're in a long-term relationship. Resources just get pulled together, and all of that has been under a microscope for you. So we're still recovering from this major, month long, several months of a review period, but it is nice that it is finally over. So it's time to patch up any sort of new financial agreements with your partner. Now, speaking of finance, that whole Juno retrograde cycle has made you really, you're still reverberating from things financially in terms of, and it can also involve business partners that you might be pooling resources with, really looking over things like debts, loans, mortgages with a really fine, going through them with a fine-tooth comb. Now, Saturn has been traveling your second house. This is a house of the money you make. It's been going on since 2023, and it's still there. So you're being tested with money, the money that you, as well as your possessions, things like cars, the things that sort of take up money in order to manage as well. Now, between the dates May 26th to the 29th, Mercury is going to connect really harmoniously with Saturn and then Ceres. So that means that all of this money testing you've been going through, this money review period you've been having with your partner, you're going to get a lot of clarity and realism when Mercury harmoniously connects to Saturn and then Ceres. So use that time period, that's May 26th to the 29th, to really strategize and see things clearly with money so that you can move forward better. Mercury can deliver new ideas about the big changes that are happening also in your home life. He's going to be conjoining Uranus too between May 29th and the 31st. Now, the last money piece I want to say is that Ceres is going retrograde in your 12th house. Ceres is the finance asteroid. This is going to be happening for a few months. And so the next few months, kind of going through the summer, you're going to be reviewing, because this is what retrograde periods are all about, your money. But in terms of 12th house stuff, now the 12th house is a house of sabotage. So you might be looking at how you've been shooting yourself in the foot with regards to money. Maybe not keeping tracking of your spending, maybe spending when you're feeling emotional or needing to comfort yourself. But you're really going to be looking at your relationship with money in terms of, have you been doing anything to sabotage yourself? Now, Ceres retrograde in the 12th house, you might be reviewing how you want to give money more, because the 12th house is a really charitable place. Maybe you're also thinking, if I have a little extra money, maybe I don't need to always spend it on myself. Maybe I need to spend it to try to help other people, because that might make me feel good. I know Jamie has some things to tell us about career for you.
Yeah, and Aquarius, there hasn't been a lot of really activity that you could point to in your career zone for a couple of months, and that's mostly due to the season that we're in. But there is one really big background thing that we've been talking about, for probably more than a year, and that is that Pluto has moved into your own sign of Aquarius and is going to be traveling through Aquarius for about 20 years total, transforming you. And you may wonder what that has to do with career. Well, Pluto is the ruler of your career zone. In your career, whether you'd like to admit it or not, Aquarius, you kind of want to be a power player, right? You want to have the crackle of power around you in your career. And Pluto is going to be bringing you that energy, but also transforming you at some point during this 20-year period, which has really just begun in 2023. So, why am I mentioning this right now? Well, Pluto is going to be taking you into deeper waters than you really want to go. I mean, I know Aquarius is the water bearer, but it's actually an air sign and really likes to breathe. So it's worth finding out exactly when Pluto is going to be impacting you very personally. And that would be when Pluto conjuncts your sun, wherever your sun is in Aquarius, if you're an Aquarian sun, or when Pluto crosses over and enters your actual first house, depending on the time of day that you were born, if you're an Aquarius rising. So this month, however, there's something really sweet that is going to happen that is going to help you with this. And that is that full moon that Julia mentioned, that Sagittarius full moon landing in your 11th house of community and friends is also going to feature Venus traveling with the sun into early Gemini. And that Venus and sun combination is going to trine Pluto, and it's going to really ease up on some of the pressure that Pluto has had you under. And so if you've been feeling like you can't breathe and you're drowning in like old traumas coming up, or instinctive feelings rising to the surface that you really would love to just rise above and be more rational, then this May 23rd to 25th, really short but sweet time period during this full moon is going to give you some insight, some support, perhaps some guiding advice, and a little bit of love and nurture that you might really be needing, and that can help you to smooth things over and give you some perspective on how this Pluto transit will be for you going forward. Find our site at pandoraastrology.com to get a reading with one of us, and find us on Patreon for workshops and classes. And we'll see you around the cosmos.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.